In Parashat NASO, we are introduced to Mr. Ploni, the Joe Schmo of those olden days. Brace yourselves, this is not an easy parasha. Here's the story. Mr. Ploni wakes up one morning and feels that something is wrong. He suspects that his wife has been unfaithful to him with another man. Mr. Ploni is filled with a sense of fury and outrage at his wife, but he is not sure. He is totally mad, but he has no proof. You see, no hidden cameras and private detectives in those days. Back then, men had special methods that are not practiced anymore to determine if their wives had been unfaithful. So he brings his wife to the priest, where they make an offering. The priest takes some sacred water in a clay pot and adds some ashes from the earthen floor of the tabernacle. The priest uncovers and masses her hair. Mr. Ploni's wife stands there surrounded by a crowd of men. She stands in front of God with no dignity and holds the offering. The priest holds the cup of bitter water. As her husband watches, he reads out the words of an oath. If you are pure of the curse that these waters cause, then you are innocent and will be blessed with children. But if you have strayed from your husband, then God will make you a curse amongst the people. Your body will distend and collapse. The woman says, Amen, and braces herself. The priest waves the meal offering before God and sends it up in smoke at the altar. Then, at the last minute before the disgusting bitter water is poured into her mouth, the priest adds one final ingredient. He takes a piece of parchment and writes the entire oath on it, including the name of God. He then submerges the parchment into the water. The entire oath, including the name of God, is washed away in the water. Mr. Ploni's wife knows that God's name should not be erased, but this situation is bad, and things are so out of the ordinary, a regular court won't do to fix this mess. Only a miracle will cause her to become terminally ill. The same act might save her family, removing doubt and regaining her husband's trust in her. Our sages tell us that our home is our most important personal sanctuary. The word ish, which means man in Hebrew, has the letters Aleph, Shin, and Yud in the middle. The word Isha, which means woman in Hebrew, has also the letters Aleph and Shin and Hey at the end. The letters Yud and Hey compose God's name. Take that Yud and Hey out and you get Esh, the Hebrew word for fire, creating a fire that can consume the couple. Put those letters back in and you get God's name dwelling amongst them. A man and a woman who make it right, with no doubts about each other, create a place for God to dwell amongst them. The Torah teaches us about our relationship with God through our relationships with the people closest to us. And it teaches us about our relationships with each other through our relationship with God. It sounds harsh to take such measures to regain your spouse's trust. But it's an extreme example of this ongoing struggle. A struggle to build a relationship with the ones closest to us and to work on a continuing relationship with God. A good relationship should not be taken for granted. It's a lot of work, holy work. This way, even a sad house that was once filled with jealousy and doubt has a second chance of bearing fruit.